Mikko, it's great to meet you. I mean, you have a very interesting, but also quite a challenging job at the moment. What are your priorities in helping Nokia navigate the current geopolitical climate?
Our role is at Nokia's geopolitical function is to really help Nokia to navigate through these different kinds of turmoils that we witness around the globe. But it's also to filter some noise so that the company really sees what is meaningful for Nokia, what is relevant for Nokia. And we also have a specific angle, which is that we only don't highlight risks. We also try to see the opportunity because we actually have a couple of quite important geopolitical trends that actually support Nokia. For example, the importance of security of the networks.
You have a new CEO. He's American. Does it modify the way Nokia behaves as a company?
We are a company with European roots. It's our home, but we have our second home in the US. And I think if you look at the whole GLT structure, there's a strong US, European, also global. We have to look at things also from the angle of the US presence and our sort of role in that market. Plus, it also brings the US tech industry, those forces and dynamics closer to Nokia, which is, I think, massively beneficial for us.
Big tech companies in North America have criticized the regulatory environment in Europe, particularly as far as AI. Who's right? Is Europe getting it right? Is the US right?
I think certainly we have a problem in Europe. I think we've made a couple of probably wrong policy choices, focusing heavily on competition policy. I think the challenge for Europeans is not only the how do you regulate AI and how do you regulate those next steps. It's actually the most critical challenge right now is to how do you build a real digital infrastructure for the whole of the continent and how do you do it fast?
If there was one thing policy-wise or in the regulatory environment here in Europe that you would change, if there was a single doctrine that could be amended to encourage the digitalization of Europe, what would it be?
First of all, I think they have to simplify the regulation because currently we have a massive number of regulation. Even the numbers, how much Europeans regulate, they are massive compared to the US. And of course, it brings all kinds of compliance. You have to spend a lot of resources to comply with all these regulations. Then secondly, I think we have to get serious about security of the networks. Like how much of a risk, strategic risk, do we tolerate? And when we look up outside Europe, we see US clearly defining that we will not take a risk with those vendors that may have some risk with them. You have India, which has taken a clear line. Europe is still like figuring out what to do in this situation. So I think it will be quite logical for Europe to really get serious about the security. So that would be probably one thing. Then, of course, the market structure. We would really like to see the situation where European market would enable and allow for more consolidation, that you would have stronger players and which would sort of support and enhance the investments for that. Then, of course, R&D. I think the European Union also needs to kind of really put an emphasis on R&D. We only have a handful of critical tech companies in Europe, Nokia being one of them, Ericsson obviously, the other one ASML, but you don't have too many others. So like really making sure that Europe stays relevant in critical tech for the next decades, I think it's massively important decision for the Europeans.
Mikko, thank you so much for talking to us today. Really
Thank you.
enjoyed it.
Thank you, Serge. Thank you.